Yo, this is Dae'Jon. Welcome back to my channel. It's always nice to see you guys again. Today, you might notice I'm in a different kind of space. Well, as you guys may know, I took a little trip out to go see my pops out in North Carolina. So I'm at their place right now. So the background is gonna be a little bit different. So today I kind of want to talk about how I fell into the world of finance, and hope you guys stick around as I tell you about how I fell into finance and a little bit of deferred gratification. So if you guys are interested in this video, stick around and yeah, let's get into it. I want to talk a little bit about where I've been, or what I've been through in the last couple of years. If you guys didn't know, I was an LBCC student, and I went to school as a theater arts major. I wasn't really sure exactly what I wanted to do, but I knew that I liked to entertain people. So, I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna do theater arts. So I did, and I stuck with it for a little while. But in the back of my mind, I always had a feeling like, okay, but I wanted to do something that I know for sure that's gonna get me a secure job in the future. And I'm not saying theater arts can't do that for me, but I always wanted to have a backup plan. Everybody says you gotta have a backup plan in case something goes south. Usually I'm not the type of person to think that way. I'm more of a straightforward guy. I'm like, oh, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it and stick to it. While at school one day, I do remember this guy telling me, he told me to look around where I was. He said, look around you, a lot of young people come to college and feel like this is going to be the end all be all. Well, he wanted to tell me that it's not. He told me specifically to do not get stuck. And well, if you guys haven't figured it out, I got stuck. I became one of those people who ended up just going to school and kind of just realizing wow, I'm just still here, not really having a direction. And I still at the time was doing theater arts, but I really started thinking about other things that I wanted to do, and I really just started feeling like I was wasting time at school. I was like, okay, why am I here? What am I doing here? What am I trying to do? I was so lost, guys. I just had no idea. I felt like I had no goals, yet I'm trying to go to school for whatever reason. It was just kind of strange. When I was in school, my first 2 semesters, I totally screwed it up. I had 3 classes my first 2 semesters, and I failed 2 classes. And the second semester, I think I failed 2 classes again, and I only passed 1. And those classes were pass, no pass classes, so they were not graded, and it affected my accumulation ratio, which affected my financial aid. And not to mention, I was stupid with my financial aid anyway. Actually, when I got my financial aid, the very first thing I bought was a Nintendo Wii U. No lie, I got financial aid. I left school really early that day just to buy a game console. I do remember at one point really just obsessing for a car. I knew I needed transportation because it's been getting harder to get around, and the older you get, you kind of feel a little bit embarrassed by not having a ride. You want to be able to go places, you want to be able to get to work, and you want to go to school, and you might even want to take a girl out here and there. So I fortunately haven't been able to have that luxury. And also, I'm starting to get tired of always getting rides from my friends. A lot of my friends are always offering me to ride to go hang out or to go places, and they'll pick me up from my house. And I'm very fortunate for that. I'm happy for that, but honestly, it gets really tiring, and I start to feel bad. So with that, being said, I decided to take a hiatus from school. I had somebody with me by my side at the time, and she was just incredible. She helped me out a lot, and just to get myself back together. And honestly, guys, it took me years. I think from 2014, 15, 16, I have just been in nothing but recovery. I lost my financial aid. I don't believe I had a job yet at the time, and honestly, it was just a straight struggle for me. And yeah, I can't believe I'm sharing it with you guys, but I want to be open and honest with you guys here. I've always known that I was going to go back to school because I've already put it in my mind that I was. But a lot of people were saying, no, DJ, don't quit school, you know, don't stop, because once you stop going to school, it's going to be hard to go back. You should just stay in school. Like, but nah, I didn't do it. I took some time off, so I ended up just you know, taking a break from school. I had a job, so I was okay. At a coffee shop in Long Beach, so I just started working. I was like, okay, nah, I'm gonna take a break. I'm going to just continue to work. It's gonna be easy. I'm gonna save up for the car. It shouldn't be too hard. And well, and this is kind of where life starts to like happen for me a little bit. You know, in these 2 years since I'm not going to school, I figured I have to learn something. I want to keep my brain moving, because you know, if you're not learning something, you're gonna be getting left behind because you're not keeping up, you know. So 2 years passed, and it kind of in the blink of an eye, and I really had nothing to show for it. I had no money saved, I had no car, and I was still in the same place that I was, you know, when I took some time off of school. And I was trying to figure out, like, what am I doing wrong? What happened? Well, in those 2 years, honestly, guys, I felt like the 2 years, even though I felt like I didn't move anywhere, I learned a lot. And this is kind of what the importance of this video is. If you guys probably don't know, I like to watch YouTube. I watch YouTube like it's TV now. I remember I was on YouTube, and I'm just kind of going through my usual searches, watching video game content and just whatever I like to watch, you know. A lot of Matt D'Avella. So if you guys like the minimalist culture, I found Matt D'Avella in this time period and fell in love with this channel. But I also found this channel called the Graham Stephan channel, or you know, and it's a channel about this guy. He's like a 29-year-old millionaire, and I just happened to find his channel by chance, and so I just decided to check it out. It was a cool channel, you know. I've never seen anything like it, and he talked about a lot of personal finance and stuff like that, and I actually really liked the content that he produced. So I ended up binging his channel. I binge watched his channel over and over. You know, I didn't have nothing to do but go to work and go home, so I would watch multiple channels by Graham, and you know, not only his, I started watching other channels that had to do with the financial world. So Graham, he talks about real estate, he talks about credit card, he talks about, you know, investing. And honestly, I really took a liking to this information. I was like, wow, this is like really like cool. Like, it was just something that, I don't know, I felt like something clicked for me. And also I started watching other channels like the Financial Diet. I watched I forgot the other channel, it was called Lux, Alux or something like that, I don't remember. But there was another channel that I've always saw, like his channel always kept popping up in the suggestions. And this channel, I kept hearing his name, and it was Dave Ramsey.
Better than I deserve.
I kept hearing the name Dave Ramsey. In my search suggested sections, they kept bringing him up. Dave Ramsey. So, you know, one day I just decided to click. It was kind of weird. I actually, around the time I was getting ready to go take a trip to Vegas with my friends, have some fun. And I watched Graham maybe a good couple months before I actually decided to click on Dave Ramsey's channel and watch a video about him. And I watched this video, and it wasn't really anything too important, but it was just a regular Dave Ramsey video about him, you know, just taking another one of his callers and giving them tips and help, financial tips and financial help, pretty much. And what I like about Dave Ramsey is, like, he, at least to me personally, I like the information that he gives. To me, he comes off as someone who really knows his stuff, and someone who genuinely cares about helping others get out of debt to live debt-free. And honestly, guys, when something just clicked with Dave Ramsey, I don't know what it was, something in my spirit was like, hey, you're gonna watch this channel, you're gonna fall in love with this channel. So kind of like Graham, I ended up binge watching Dave Ramsey's channel. I watched like tons and tons of videos, and like, because I had nothing better to do but watch. So I watched and I took in all this information in a short period of time. I took in so much financial information, and I ended up actually, because I ended up just liking it a lot. I was curious. I wanted to know everything about it. I wanted to know, like, how do you get out of debt? How do you build wealth? How does credit cards work? How do you do just all of that stuff? How does it work? I think what really helped me out, honestly, guys, and as silly as it sounds, was a savings account. When I didn't have a savings account, I noticed I tried to save money, but I couldn't, and I just kept ending up with no money. I was always broke. When I opened my first savings account back in, I believe it was July, with Ally, I just started off putting like $100. No, I think I started off $50. Every single paycheck, I started putting $50 into my savings account. And this is what helped me realize I'm actually kind of wired as a saver. I really enjoy saving money, and I hate wasting money. I hate it. But yeah, having a savings account allowed me to the reassurance and of knowing that I have money in case of an emergency. That's just something that can't be taken lightly. So in case of something serious comes up, and it has, I had a little bit of money to take care of like whatever may have came up. By this time, I have about 3 savings accounts, and I spread my money 3 ways with myself. So far I have a long-term savings, a short-term savings, and an emergency savings account. By the way, all of these savings accounts I have in a high interest savings account. And if you guys may not know what a high interest savings account is, it's an online bank for the ones that I have. It's an online bank that has high interest on your money. So the longer you have your money saved in this bank, the more money that you're going to get for just having your money sit there. When I'm kind of like having my money make money for nothing. Now, it's not really a huge amount of money, and the interest rates are around like 1.70, 1.7. I'm sorry, 1.7 right now. So it's just trying to keep up with inflation. But hey, I'll take it than nothing. I actually like looked in to see other banks that offer interest rates, because I was curious. I did my research. I have a checking account with Chase, and I decided to look there first, and I saw that Chase only has 0.05% interest, and I just don't think that's going to help anybody. Now I started like finding other channels as well that had to do with the financial lifestyle, and I'm always trying to find like other people's subjections. What I'm trying to say is I like hearing everybody's financial opinions, financial tips, because I think that it's important for you to grab information from all sorts of people. You don't want to stick to one thing. You really want to grab everyone's, like, listen to everybody's input and take the most important sections and apply it to your life however works best for you. I know a lot of people don't necessarily agree with Dave Ramsey. A lot of people don't agree with Stephan or just anyone like that. But for me, a lot of what they teach and a lot of what they talk about really makes sense to me, and it's stuff that I'm willing to apply to my lifestyle. I'm also going to try to put links in the description to the other channels that I have mentioned to. If you guys want to check out Dave Ramsey's channel or Stephan's channel, I'll try to have links down there for you guys. And also, if you guys like vlogs or skits, I'll try to have a video for you guys as well. If you guys want to check out anything else that I've done. My latest video, I've talked about Nintendo 64. So if you guys are into video games, I made a Nintendo 64 recently that you can check out over here. But anyway, let's get back to the finance talk. August, I started school again. That's when I decided to go back to school after the 2-year break. But I'm going back to school as a totally, completely different person. I'm a little bit older now, and the 2 years I've been gone, I learned a lot about anything, really, just general life, but specifically finance. I'm coming back with a whole new mindset. I'm coming back calmer, and I just want to say, like, the goals that I had 2 years prior didn't really change too much. It still stayed the same, and I learned that even though I had a goal 2 years ago, I learned that I was doing it the wrong way, and that's why I wasted time. That's why at the end of 2 years, I had no money. I had no savings account. I had no money knowledge on how to properly save, what to do with my money, and I kept wasting it. But now around, I think it was July, I decided to open up a savings account. I opened up a savings account with Ally Bank, and then I opened up another one with Discover and PNC, and I also opened up credit cards as well. I opened up a credit card with Discover, and I opened up a credit card with Chase, and I actually just opened up a new one recently. So honestly, guys, I think the 2 year was really good for me. It was a year, a good time for growth, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and I went from I need a car to I don't really need a car as bad. I do need it, but now I know I'm going to get it because I'm working towards it. I learned the importance of having a goal and working towards the goal. I took a step back and I thought about my life circumstances, and I actually started to really realize how lucky I was, honestly. It hit me like a slap on the back of the head or something, and I found that my life situation is the best it could actually be in this time of my life. I'm at the age where like nobody really expects you to own anything or have anything, so it's okay for me to not have too much, or at least that's what I want people to think. Right now, as a returning college student, I live with my parents. I have no car. I failed a lot of my classes, which technically put me behind, which actually helped me to avoid any debt so far. So honestly, I'm taking into consideration my life circumstance. I should have been able to save a lot of money, and I'm glad that I was able to find these finance channels that allow me and to change the way that I think about money and how I go about handling my own personal finances. And I think that's probably the biggest thing that I learned. Patience, I believe, is something that I've always tried to practice, and delayed gratification. And I keep bringing up this word. Delayed gratification to me is the ability to understand, is the ability to delay a pleasure for now to have an overall greater pleasure later on. So I think that's a skill that I think is important for everybody to master. So you got to be willing to sacrifice today to reap the benefits of that sacrifice tomorrow. And Dave Ramsey always says, live like nobody else so that you can live and give like nobody else. And that's kind of something that just kind of always sticks in my mind today. So honestly, guys, as of right now, I can say that I'm still learning, I'm still growing, but I want to share these things with you guys. So if you guys have any like questions, or if you want to know anything else, if you guys want to know more about what I know about finance, I'll be more than happy to share this information with you guys. Just let me know down in the comment section below. If you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up down there, it really helps. And if you want to see more videos from me, just click the bell icon and stay up to date with more videos that I'm going to pump out. And yeah, you guys, honestly, I'm always more happy to share what I have to say with you guys, anything that I'm learning. I guess that's really all I have to say. Yeah, hopefully more financial tips in the future, more videos for the future. Alright guys, take care, that's all. Have a good one. Well guys, I'm headed back home. This is the journey. By the way, I'm finally able to capture the snow. It's like 5 in the morning right now, but this is pretty cool. Look at this. I've never been in snow before, so this is pretty wild. Alright y'all, but that's all.